Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I am Julie Riley. I am your host of Livestream Impact, and I am the social media manager here at Streamyard. I am so excited for today's guest, one of my good friends, who we're going to just go into a lot of topics. We've got a lot we're going to cover, and it's going to be a lot of fun. If you are watching this in the Facebook group, the StreamYard community, make sure that you have given StreamYard permission to see your name. Otherwise, I see Facebook user and I can't say hi to you, and I want to see who you are. So make sure you have given us permission to see your name. We are going to have a giveaway at the end of the show. So stay tuned and watch through. That way you are here for that. And we have a lot going on. We are, of course, wrapping up our final week of Veda in the StreamYard community. If you've not been in there and seen that, Veda is video every day in April. And the idea behind that is to create some foundation for your content and really to get consistent and create a habit of creating that content. Now, we know that creating a video every day can be a lot of work. So it's not necessarily something that you would continue doing every day after, but it's going to set that foundation and really create that solid piece to keep you going. We do have a week left, and you can still participate even if you haven't participated every day in April. We are going to have a giveaway at the end of the week for our weekly participants. And then if you participate at all in the Veda Challenge, you will be entered into our grand prize drawing that I will be doing right after the month ends, and we'll get everybody who participated into that drawing. So that's going to be a ton of fun. If you are watching, tell me where you are watching from. I know we have so many people. I see all of our YouTube family over here, and we've got Facebook chiming in. So make sure you're telling me where you're watching from and saying hello. So with that, let's get to know Rob a little bit. I'm going to bring him up. So Rob is the partnership manager at TubeBuddy.com. He speaks at various conferences, summits, podcasts, and live stream interviews like today. He is the host of TubeBuddy's Creators Corner live show. Don't say that fast. You manage the TubeBuddy affiliate program as well as a number of the influencer and brand partnership relationships on behalf of TubeBuddy. Mm-hmm. And when you're not working, your husband, a dad, love coffee and love exploring new places. I love it. Yes. Oh, I should have got my TubeBuddy coffee cup out today. I didn't think about that. I brought the StreamYard one.
All good. Yes. Awesome. Hey, Julie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How have you been?
I'm doing well. Seeing some awesome people, actually. Tim, I see you in the chat. Good to see you. It's been
I know. I'm like, I haven't even been able to start bringing people's comments up. They're coming in so fast, and I was making sure to introduce you.
This is awesome. Yeah, no, thanks for having me, Julie. It's really good to see you, and we were just kind of catching up, before we went live, and it's great to be here. Thanks for having me, and amazing work to the entire StreamYard crew, Gage and Dan, congrats on the acquisition. And just amazing. It's very cool to see. I remember when StreamYard, from 2 or 3 years ago, and and where it is now, it's just been incredible. So
yeah, it's been a fun journey, and it's been fun to get to be a part of it. Yes. and really get to be there along the way while it's building and turning into something just absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. So coffee. What's your favorite coffee?
What's my favorite coffee? Well, I'd have to say, there's lots. I'm not a super coffee snob. I like coffee. I have coffee every day, but I would have to say my go-to is Tim Hortons Double Double. That's my go-to. If you guys are Canadian. Actually, It's not just Canadian now. It's all over the place, but yes.
It is not where I live. I cannot get Tim Hortons, and it saddens me because I do love Tim Hortons. I would go for that one before any of the others. Yeah. So.
We'll have to get that over to you.
Ship me some Tim Hortons. Yeah,
yes.
I know. And it's not like I can cross the border right now and get it. So hopefully soon it's coming.
Soon.
Yeah, because you are in Vancouver.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
That was good
Beautiful
timing.
Vancouver.
Your comment was right there under my mouse.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, beautiful Vancouver. Yeah, here in the West Coast.
Awesome. Okay, so you said you like to travel. When you can travel, where is your favorite place to travel to?
Back home, Philippines, of course. Yeah, right before COVID, we were in San Diego. Love going to California and the States, Hawaii. I
Ooh.
mean, we were in London, hung out with a bunch of the friends over there in London right before COVID. So we had some big plans last year, but obviously COVID hit. But when we can go back to traveling again, we definitely want to go back to California. A lot of friends, a lot of TubeBuddy team members over there. So that's probably the first place we'll go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so what would be your dream place to travel to that you haven't traveled to yet?
You know what? Dream place? Somewhere, either like Morocco, one of
Ooh.
those really cool places. Yeah, Morocco is definitely high on our list. And yeah, that's probably the best, like the first place I would go to if I could.
I love that. Everybody else, I want to know where your dream place to travel would be
Yes.
too. So put that in the comments. Tell me, because I'm making a travel list. I was like, oh, that's awesome. You said you love to travel. My travel list is getting
There you
long.
go. There you go.
It's coming. We'll
I
get
see
there.
Andrew Ken from our team in the chat. So the first place is to see Andrew in LA. So Andrew, that's for you.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, I know. I'm like, the chat is going today. I'm loving it. Everybody is popping and talking. Okay, so tell us about TubeBuddy
Yeah,
and why this is such an important tool. I know we at StreamYard use it and love it, but
I
we want
know.
to hear from you why it's so important.
Yeah, I just saw the milestone that you guys posted. That's congratulations. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
I
Love
love
to see
those
the growth.
milestones.
Yeah, I love seeing milestones. Yeah, well, TubeBuddy is a tool. It's a software. It's not owned by YouTube. A lot of people actually think it's like a YouTube tool, but it is a private company. And yeah, TubeBuddy's been around for I want to say 6-7 years now. We have almost 7 million YouTube channels that have installed TubeBuddy over the years and use it. And so yeah, TubeBuddy is just an amazing tool. It's got over 80 different features and tools within the platform to help YouTube creators manage their channels, do keyword research, optimize their channels, find opportunities to grow their YouTube channel. And we're just really here to serve the creator community in however we can. So, and really try to take away the guessing game out of being a YouTube creator. Sort of analyzing the data, interpreting the data, because there is so much data for YouTube. When you go into your YouTube channel in the back end, there's so much data. And so we try to take away some of the question marks and some of the guessing game for creators out there on YouTube.
I love that. So how does it take away that guessing game? What does it do that is so magical for everybody?
Yeah. So for different things, so we've got tools like Click Magnet, for example, which we just launched last year. And what that does is it uses AI to really look at all your different thumbnails and what do people like in your thumbnails. Do they like thumbnails with your face, without your face, thumbnails where you're smiling or sad or calm or surprised, thumbnails with text or no text. So, we try to take that guessing game out because you only get one thumbnail for each video. So we want to make sure that you are using that space, that piece of image to get people to click your videos with the best version of the thumbnail to get them there. We have tools like A/B testing, which allows you to use two variations of your thumbnails, and to see which ones people like more and click into more. We've got Keyword Explorer to look at all the different keywords and which videos you should be creating and where you have opportunities. Canned responses, there's just so many. And so those are just three, but again, like I said, we've got over 80 different tools inside of TubeBuddy for creators of all sizes and stages.
Awesome. Let's see. So why should somebody use a tool like TubeBuddy to optimize their content? It's going to help them get the better thumbnail and help them kind of be seen, but what's that significance to their channel and how's that really going to help them?
Yeah. So the significance is that just like any tool, it's going to save them a lot of time. It's just going to make life easier. You could have a lot of success without TubeBuddy on YouTube. I want to be super honest about that. You could go into your data and try to figure this out on your own. But that's why we exist, is that we want to make sure that we take all of that work away so that you can really focus on being a creator and have data that's easier to digest and interpret, and then make decisions based on that. So that is really what we're trying to do here is just to make that life easier.
I love it. So I think let's kind of clarify a little, because somebody said thumbnail, I use Canva. Let's clarify what you meant by the thumbnails in there, because I know you're not creating the thumbnails right there. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Didn't see the name there, but yeah, so Canva's great. There's lots of tools. TubeBuddy does have a thumbnail generator, so you could, upload an image and then put overlays, text, and all that stuff. You could even take a frame out of your video and then put overlays, text, images over your thumbnail and create a thumbnail inside of TubeBuddy. There are other tools out there that you can do that. But what I was talking about is Click Magnet, which actually looks at all your thumbnails and then analyzes what people are actually clicking on, what they like about the thumbnails, what they don't, based on your thumbnails, not just anyone else's. So it analyzes your thumbnails and tells you, what people like to click on and which ones they're clicking on. So then when you're designing your thumbnails for YouTube, then you can have that in mind that, hey, you know what? People like having my face really big, or maybe people don't like my face, and that's totally fine. And it gives you that data point so that you're doing the right things and you're optimizing to get as many clicks as possible into your videos.
Yeah, I love that. So we mentioned at the very beginning there the milestones that we just hit ours. Let's talk about what those are and why those are such a great feature of TubeBuddy, aside from just being something amazingly fun, but really what it can do, to share with your community.
Yeah, YouTube is like it's a long play, right, Julie? Like you don't go on YouTube, and you've got to be there for the long game,
right?
You've got to be willing, to be consistent. And so thumbnails is just a really fun way for us to allow creators to celebrate their milestones. When you reach a certain number of subscribers or a certain number of views or even certain number of uploads, which I think is worth celebrating, right? Being consistent, uploading 10 videos, here's a milestone. You reach a milestone, you get this little fun certificate that you can, it's an image that you can share on social media, and then it allows your community to celebrate those milestones with you. It encourages you, and again, it's just, we want to celebrate creators, and this is really important, especially if you're in it for the long run. You got to make sure that you're celebrating along the way. Everybody wants to have 100,000 subscribers. But everybody, if you're not celebrating along the way, you may not get there. You may burn out, you may, get tired of it, you may lose focus, or, just really feel like, hey, you know what, I'm waiting and this is going to take so long.
Yeah.
We want to celebrate along the way.
Yeah, so these are what the milestones look like.
There you go.
I went and grabbed one real quick and threw it in there while you're talking about it. So obviously it's meant, in the square format, so it doesn't fit over this screen very well, but that's what they look like. And then if you have the pro accounts, you get some other graphic options, correct?
That's right. Yeah, you get other options. You got different looks and things. There is also a version that is a portrait version, a rectangle version for like LinkedIn or Twitter. If you prefer. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just a really fun way to celebrate and have your community kind of rally around you and just celebrate with you, because it takes a lot of work to grow a YouTube channel.
Yeah. So this is a good question here. Does TubeBuddy remove background?
Good question. No, we don't. Our thumbnail generator does not, but the tools that you mentioned there, Canva, Easel, all those tools have ways to remove your background.
Yeah. Liesel, you were asking about the link to TubeBuddy, and we were definitely going to get there, but you beat us to it. So there is the link for you. And before you guys go sign up for it there, if you go to there, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. TubeBuddy.com/free trial. If you go there, then you can get a 30-day free trial on any of our paid plans. So we have 3 paid plans, Star, Pro, and Legend. I encourage you, go there and check it out, and go for the Legend plan. And then, you can have access to all the tools. We never have any contracts or anything like that. So you can always downgrade if you feel like, hey, we don't need the paid version, or we can go with a lower paid tier. Any of those. But yeah, that's the link right there.
I love that. Ooh. Okay, Andrew, I'm going to have to figure that one out.
That's right.
I didn't know there were animated milestones. When did that come out? And
That
how did I
was
miss that?
Andrew's on top of it. Hey,
I've been
Andrew.
using these flat images.
Yeah.
Well, now I got fun. I'm going to go get those.
Yeah. So I think it's on certain milestones, Julie. So
Ah,
like 1,000 subscribers, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, like milestones, but like bigger milestones
okay.
that are significant. We do have animated milestones
All right. I'm on the look for those now.
Yes.
Now I have a new goal. I was like,
That's
you gave
right.
me something to go for. I'm
That's
like,
right.
animation.
Perfect.
So here's a good one. A lot of our users are live
Yeah.
streamers. So we're going live over on YouTube. And obviously, we want to optimize our content. Should they be optimizing their content when they schedule their live before it actually goes live or after the live, or does it matter?
Yeah, great question. And my answer is both, before and after. So what I mean by that is before the actual live stream, you want to optimize your scheduling your live stream ahead of time. I'm assuming you're using Streamyard to do that. And so you want to do the research just like you would a regular YouTube video. You want to do the keyword research. You want to title that video or that live stream so that it can be found because your scheduled live streams can be found in search, right? So don't forget that, because a lot of people think, well, I'm just going to schedule it and, once it's done, then I'll figure out what to do with the live stream replay. Schedule it, but make sure you do the keyword research. You can use TubeBuddy to do that so that you title that live stream, not like, don't title like, May 1st live stream, Q&A. Like nobody's searching that, right? So you want to title it just like you would a regular uploaded YouTube video so it can be found in search. And then after the video, you want to go back and you want to put chapters or timestamps, which is really important, especially for longer live streams. You want to make sure you do that so that people can come in and maybe they don't want to watch the entire half hour or 45-minute live stream. They can fast forward through different timestamps. Maybe you have timestamps for different questions that you asked your guest or different segments of your show, and then people can fast forward to it so that they can still consume it, and you're going to have more replay viewers that way. Your descriptions, tags, all those things, make sure you're taking care of that when you're scheduling the video, the live stream, sorry, so that again, has more chances of being found in search. So you want to do that for every live stream. You want to have a checklist for your live streams so that you're not forgetting these things: keyword research, description, all your links, and then tags and all that when you're scheduling.
And the keyword research you do right within TubeBuddy, right?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So again, you're not having to sit there and type in 9 million keywords into the top bar and hope you're guessing which ones were the right ones.
Exactly. My other suggestion is that set up if you're doing live streams and also recorded videos, you can set up what's called default uploads on YouTube. And so it's basically a template for your descriptions. So you may have a default upload template for your descriptions on YouTube for interviews. You may have one for Q&A sessions. You may have one for live training sessions where you're doing a live tutorial. You may have one for your uploaded videos. So that way you're saving yourself time so that you know that for every live stream interview that this is going to be the description and this is going to be the template for that description. So again, just a time saver when you're out there, and also reduces any errors on your part when you're doing, when you're uploading and setting up your live streams.
Yeah, I love that. And I know some of this is stuff that we even, at StreamYard are working on, just getting into our flow. Getting those timestamps in is probably our hardest one, only because we have so many live shows that going back and getting all those done. But, for the normal creator, I think it's definitely super, super major important. So, yeah.
Yeah. You know what has really helped us and myself even on my own streams, Julie, is for the timestamps. You guys have the lower third. So if you guys are using StreamYard, it's got these awesome captions that you can put into the lower third ahead of time. And so what you do is you put all your questions. Pretend it's a guest interview. Have all your questions sort of ahead of time, or if it's different segments on a show, then you have your different captions and your lower third set up. And then you just look for those lower thirds, and that's where you put the caption. So you're fast forwarding through, scrolling through. Oh, here's that new caption. I asked that question from Julie. and I'm just gonna make a timestamp for that timestamp right there. So it just makes it easier. You don't have to
Good
listen
tip.
through the entire interview again.
Love it. That's an awesome tip. Good one. So we've talked about going live. Now we need all of the equipment to go live. And of course, I always tell people, don't get overwhelmed by equipment. You have already $1,000 piece of equipment you own. That works. So don't feel that you have to go get all this equipment. But what are your favorite pieces of equipment?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. Like right now, I'm streaming with a MacBook with my webcam on the MacBook right here.
I mean, it looks great.
Yeah. Well, thanks. And then I've got a couple lights here. You guys can see a couple lights. Just these. These are Amazon, $25 lights for the pair, and it gives you a bit of a depth and color in your background. I've got a couple softbox lights here because in my space here, this is our home office, so there's actually no windows, so I have to create my own light, and I think that's probably the trickiest part of it. In your space is that you have to balance and you have to manage light.
Yeah.
When it comes to live streaming, those are the things. I mean, that's just in regular creating videos. I think the most important part is the audio, and so I use a lapel mic. Some people have big microphones. Julie, I'm not sure what microphone you're
I've got the Shure MV7.
There you go. You got the fancy stuff.
Yeah. And I didn't go for the SMB?
Yeah.
SMB. Yeah. I went down to the MV7, but it has been perfect. I was on a Blue Yeti for a while, and then I just upgraded to this one recently.
Perfect. Yeah, I would say that that's probably one of the first things that I would invest in if I was going to start over again and sort of go back to zero, starting and creating a studio and a space is the audio. So the audio is really important. I do like the microphones like the Blue Yeti and the SMBs and stuff. For me, I like the lapel mic. It's just easier and I don't have to like move around to find it. And then sometimes I do use a camera as a webcam. So I do have a Canon M50 as an external camera that I might use for recording or as a webcam.
Okay.
And then the last thing is just Ethernet. So,
yes.
Hardwired internet, guys. It goes such a long way versus Wi-Fi. So I have a hardwired Ethernet cable here that I use. So.
Oh my gosh, I was on mobile for a long time.
Oh, yes.
We were streaming out of a bar every Friday at my old business. So it was a happy hour stream out of a brewery.
Sounds fun.
On a mobile phone. So, we made it work that way. And then for the longest time I was on Wi-Fi. I kept looking at my house going, how am I going to run an Ethernet cable to my internet, which is in another room? And at some point my husband will get up and go through the attic and actually run the wire through the ceiling and drop it back down for me. But in the meantime, I just have a cord running through the hallway, and the rule is just tell my kid, watch for the cord. Don't trip. So, but yeah, because it truly is that important that if you're going to be going live consistently, you need that stable connection. Yeah. And you may look at your Wi-Fi internet and go, but I've got, 500 upload and 200 download, and it's good internet, but it's not stable is the problem, because Wi-Fi is always going to have those dips.
Yeah, exactly. So as quickly as you can, you probably already have an outlet in your space, put an Ethernet cable in there that you can reach.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the best investment ever. Even if everything else, your video and everything, as long as you have good internet, then your stream is consistent, then, you're going to have a better viewer experience for your viewers for sure.
I love that. Okay, so we already said you're using the MacBook. Oh, hold on. The comments jumped on me. There it is. So you're using the MacBook Pro, just built-in webcam, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I am on a Sony A6000 is what I'm using today.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's the camera that we're both using. Yes, yeah, I like this one. A great cheap setup will always produce better quality than an expensive bad setup.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can spend all the money in the world, but if you didn't set it up right or it's not done in a good way, it's not going to be good.
Absolutely, Julie. Yeah, and I always tell people, they're just starting on. They want to get they they're watching a lot of reviews, and they, hey, this guy that I was watching, this lady is watching, told me that this is the best camera. I need to get this, and I need to get this microphone. And if you're tech savvy, great. You can get the Rodecaster and all the fancy stuff. Stream decks and all those things. Now, if you're starting out though, and even if you're already a creator, sometimes I find, Julie, that when you get a new piece of equipment that takes some time to learn, that becomes your excuse. That becomes the thing that you're like, you know what? I got to figure this out this week. I'm going to start my live show next week. And then it becomes the week after. It's like, I got to watch a couple more tutorials, a couple more test runs, And it becomes the crutch that you use to then not actually create. And so, which is kind of ironic. So, I'm all for investing into your gear and everything, but you want to start because if that gear fails, or if the audio goes out, and we've done this before, I've done this before. I don't know if Julie, you've done this before, but like, this microphone, my Blue Yeti or like this Rodecaster failed. I got to go back to my MacBook. You've got to know how the basics and the fundamentals work as a last resort. So start out with the basics and then kind of work your way up.
Well, and the other thing is I think people get overwhelmed by the cost and by all of the how it all works. And again, start with those basics. I didn't start with, lighting behind me and a nice setup and a good camera and good lighting here. I started in a brewery. Well, I actually started like walking with my mobile phone in 2015 in the Periscope and Meerkat days, and then went to an office that I was working out of that had bad cabinets behind me, and we were on a Logitech C920 webcam. It was nothing fancy. We were on the go on our phone in a brewery using a $15 lavalier mic that we would string across the table from the phone, to sit in front of us just to get some sort of audio. So I think it's kind of building those pieces. But I didn't wake up one day and say, I'm going to live stream. I went and bought a camera, went and bought a microphone, went and bought lighting and made my setup all pretty and then turned it on and hit play. It all was a gradual process.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Just, work with the basics and work your way up and, add one thing here and there as you go. And that as the live stream show or that piece of content, that activity starts giving you ROI, then definitely invest into, better gear for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I love, start with whatever you have, a smartphone, etc., and upgrade when it's a need, not a want. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now I'm at the point where every now and then I upgrade for a want. I did upgrade the microphone for a want. The Blue Yeti was working and it was working fine and I could still plug it in today and it would work. But I wanted that next step up. So I did upgrade that one for a want, not a need.
Right. I didn't need that one, but I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you have a Facebook group that you also run. Let's talk about the importance of community.
Yeah. I'm a huge believer in community. I mean, before TubeBuddy, I was the community manager for another software company called Thinkific. So, I mean, I'm a huge believer. I've seen, what community can do for a business. I've seen what community can do for, creators and entrepreneurs. I've also seen what it could have done, for a lot of entrepreneurs that didn't have such a solid community, So yeah, I think every business, every entrepreneur should definitely be thinking about building a community. If you're doing live streams, I mean, you're all about community. You're probably somewhat of an extrovert already because you're out here connecting and engaging with people. I mean, that's the first thing as a live streamer. So yeah, I think building a community is super important. And community can come in different forms and shapes. There's also different purposes for community, Julie. So there's the community that you're serving. So, let's say your subscribers on YouTube. That's a community to you. So there's also a community that needs to be, lost Julie, I think. Julie, I'm sure you'll come back. But there's also the community that you need to be a part of that is also, pouring into you, supporting you, that you can lean on. So a community with your, let's see, Julie, hold on 1 second. I think Julie is, let me know if you guys can still see me. I think so. I think we're still live. So we're just going to keep on going until Julie gets back. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I guess I kind of just taking over the stream here. Hold on, are you okay? All right. I can only see. Oh, Julie's back.
I have no idea what happened. All of a sudden, I was out on the main screen.
This is it. This is it.
I'm back, but that's the beauty of live. Sometimes you got to roll with it.
There you go. Oh, I was like, what's going to happen here? Do I shut it down or what? All good. All good.
We're good.
Yep. All good. So yeah, so I was going to say, so there's the community you're serving, and then there's also the community you need to be a part of yourself. So with your peers. So, I feel like Julie, you're in my community of peers, Tim, Andrew, fellow content creators, fellow streamers, people that are in your space. So this is, because there's going to be some days where you're just not going to feel really good about your business or really good about your content, or you're gonna have some questions of like, which direction should I go with my content, my business, that sort of thing. And you need to have a community, otherwise it's going to be a really tough go, because hopefully you're in this game for the long run. So Andrew, yeah, good idea.
Sorry, threw you off there.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, no. So community, right from day one. Today, if you've been in business for a long time and you feel like maybe I'm not building community, then put it as a goal and work towards it. Facebook groups are great. Streamyard's group is amazing, but there's other places where you can build community. You can build community as simple as like a group Facebook chat, private DM chat with 3 or 4 other creators or people in your space, and that's fine. That's fine. That's a great community. So it's not about the size of the community. It's the quality of the conversations and the relationships that you're building. But yeah, so think of that, and I think that's important. It's a good call out, Julie.
So I'm going to address this real quick. Nocturnal Nation, there are lots of reasons that could happen. If you can reach out to our support team at streamyard.com/contact, they can work through troubleshooting why that is happening. So I know that was coming up quite a few times in there. So I wanted to make sure we got his question answered. Yeah. So how are you using video in building your community, both internally in your group and externally on just your community on YouTube and places like that?
Yeah, I mean, externally, I think that kind of speaks for itself. You're serving your community there. You're sharing, advice or lessons or tutorials. You're giving value to your subscribers and to your people there. As far as internally, I think that's important. It can come in different fashions. Of course, live streaming is really important. There's a difference between recorded content and then live streaming. Nowadays, I mean, once we get back to in-person conferences and all those things, meetups, I think live streaming is here to stay.
Oh yeah.
I don't think even though we can get back to traveling and conferences, I think people will still see live streaming as a great way to build their audience, a great way to, very low cost way in general to connect with their community and their user base and their customers. So I think that real-time engagement is so key, and it really humanizes your brand. So like everybody here, they know Julie. You guys know Dan and Gage because they're showing up every single week. And so people before live streaming, experts and creators that used to be sort of like behind this wall are now in the forefront, and they're reachable, right? They're approachable. Yeah. When you see Julie, it's like, hey, I can ask Julie questions. I can ask Rob questions, Andrew. Yep. And so that is such a differential advantage that you may have, that you can have with your competitors, because now you're not just this brand that has no face. You have a personality. They can ask you questions. There's real-time engagement, and so people they're going to be attracted to that. So that's going to be a huge part of your business going forward. If you're not already aware of that, just keep on going.
I love it. I think it really plays into that. Just marketing 101 of the know, like, and trust. And this is really going to get people to get to know you. Especially with a tool like StreamYard, because then we're bringing the conversations up. We're bringing the questions, and it's not just a talking head show. It's an interactive show with the audience and with the community. And that makes such a big difference.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So what or how does video play a role in your long-term goals?
Oh, video is, I'm I'm not a great writer, like so. So that's why video, as far as content and giving back and sharing knowledge and information, that's been the best way for me to do that. Not to say anything against blogs or podcasts; those are great platforms and mediums as well. And I think you should all look at ways to incorporate that into your content. But video becomes, video, people can hear you, they can see you. And again, like I said, it's sort of the game changer there for a lot of brands. If you look around now, a lot of brands are incorporating video that normally wouldn't have used videos maybe 5, 10 years ago, but now they're jumping on videos. They're on TikTok, they're on all these platforms using videos. And it allows you to reach such a massive audience. I mean, YouTube alone, there's millions and billions of views happening all the time. And so, why wouldn't you take advantage of that? Why wouldn't you leverage that for your business and get into that highway of where people are consuming content so that they can be aware of your business, be aware of your solutions that you can offer them, and then drive them back, to your business that way. It's such a no-brainer.
I love that. And there's no wrong answer here, even though we're a live stream platform. What is your favorite, live video or pre-recorded that you edit and polish and then upload?
What is my favorite
one
what
do you prefer?
What do I prefer? I prefer live streams, to be honest. And it's not just because I'm here on StreamYard. I just really prefer, it's just less editing and less, there's just less work. And I like connecting. I like that real-time engagement. I am a bit of an extrovert. That's why, so I do like that real-time engagement. And I think one of the things, it really allows you, on a business side too, Julie, that real-time engagement allows you to understand your audience better. What's the pain points? Hey, like, what questions do you guys have for me? Okay, these are like 4 great questions. I can take that back now and I can kind of think about, okay, well, that's how people see me and perceive me as an expert in.
Right.
And even like sort of even a bigger thought is that now I know if I'm looking to build a digital product or a course or a membership, then I understand what my pain points are and how I can serve the audience that I have, that I'm building. So definitely live streaming. Yeah.
I love the comments coming in from the community on what they prefer, whether it's pre-recorded, live for interviews, recorded for how-to, which is actually a lot of what we do at StreamYard. We have more of the interviews live, and then we do have our how-tos that are more pre-recorded and edited, because we also want those to be short, quick nuggets, and it's easy to become wordy and lengthy when you're live and going that way. Yep. I personally, not just because I'm on StreamYard on a live show, but I've been going live, like I said, since 2015. Live is definitely my favorite. I like the human element side, that you never know what's going to happen when you're live, that you're suddenly kicked out of your own live show and Rob takes over. Those kinds of little elements that you're like, okay, let's see what happens. But it's just a lot of fun. We locally here in Wichita, we have a festival that's about a week-long festival in the summer. Normally, we haven't had it the last 2 years, but normally, and so we would go out and shoot live video for them. And I remember one time we're out there and some people in the background were coming by and they had been celebrating very hard that day. And, we're kind of like, okay, we're going to just deter the live this way to avoid the crazy drunk girls, but it's one of those where you're just like, you don't know what's going to happen when you're live. And for me, that's kind of a fun element of it. Live keeps you on your toes.
It does. It definitely does. And I think one of the things for me, Julie, is that it's helped me also with public speaking and like just being on your toes and being ready for that, even outside of the live streams. Hey, what's up, Paul? Good to see you here. So definitely. There's so much that can, so many benefits from live streaming. One of the things I love with live streaming, Julie, is that it's such an easy way to do collaborations like this. I'm pointing the wrong way over here with you.
It's okay. I never get it right.
I know, like over here, like to nobody.
That way.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just such an easy way to do collaborations. So I know that's you didn't ask me about this, but I think one of the best ways that I've grown my personal YouTube channel is just through collaborations, interviews like this with other people in my space. And it's just like, hey, let's join me. Here are the 3 things I might ask you, and then here's the link, and let's go have a chat. And their audience is the audience I'm looking to get in front of, and vice versa. They want to get in front of the audience that I'm building and community I'm building. And so it just makes so much sense. And live streaming allows you to do that, and tools like StreamYard makes it super easy to do.
Yeah. And then you go clean it up with TubeBuddy.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You optimize it with TubeBuddy.
You optimize it, and that's how we have obviously a very large YouTube community over here watching today. I love seeing all the YouTubers that are on here. Normally I have more Facebook viewers, so I like this. You brought all the YouTube viewers today. But I think that's one of the key elements is don't let the live stop. Like we talked about earlier earlier in the show, is make sure you're optimizing it before, but also after. And that way, if you're on YouTube, you're on there to grow. Yeah. I don't think anybody is on there just to be like, well, I'm sure there's some that are using it just for storage. But if you're on here and you're actually interacting, chances are you are wanting to grow your channel. So use the tools that you have in order to help it grow and become better.
Yeah, exactly. Use the tools. It's going to make it easier for you. Then hopefully it's and I mean it's we're Julie, I think you and Streamyard and TubeBuddy are the same. We're not really a very I mean TubeBuddy is definitely not very good at I'm not very good at sales. So you guys there's a free version actually with I think over 30 different tools inside of it with TubeBuddy. So a lot of creators are using that and it's growing and helping them grow their channels. And so we're just happy that you're using the tools. Honestly, it's we just want to see more creators, have the opportunity to grow their channel, grow their reach, and if our tools can help them do that, then that's amazing.
Awesome. So while we're talking about tools, besides StreamYard and TubeBuddy, of course, what are some of your favorite tools and what do they do? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So let me see. I'm actually looking at my desktop here. What are the tools that I use? So
I love that.
Yeah. So I do use Canva. I do use Easel. Thumbnails are a big thing for us here on the YouTube side of things, and so I spend a lot of time looking at thumbnails and trying different things. So those are definitely two tools I use. I know it's not a live streaming tool, but it's for repurposing live streams. I do use Camtasia.
I love
editing.
Camtasia.
Yep. Love Camtasia for editing. I think it's really, I mean, it just makes my life easier. Right. I used to use iMovie. So anybody that is, I think up until about 1,500 or 2,000 subscribers on my personal channel, I was just using iMovie. And so, nothing wrong with iMovie.
No.
I think you could definitely keep using it.
The way I kind of worded it was, Camtasia is kind of that step up from iMovie. So you start with iMovie. Again, you start with the tools you have. So you start with your iMovie and then you move up to Camtasia when, you don't need to get into necessarily Adobe Premiere Pro or any of those. Some of those can get super complicated. They're above my head. But Camtasia is really that next step up that's, perfect for that.
Yeah. Camtasia is great. Great. There is, what else do I use? For music, for audio, I use either Soundstripe or Epidemic Sound.
Okay.
Again, great tools. So yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned Easel. Annette, who is the owner of Easel, is going to be a guest on our Learn with StreamYard in 2 weeks, I believe.
Nice.
Well, not this Friday, next Friday. So whatever that is, May 7th, I think. Right. So make sure you guys tune into that one. If you aren't familiar with Easel is a tool that is similar to Canva.
Yes.
So we're excited to have her on to talk about Easel and teach people how to create their own overlays and banners and things like that.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, I mean, tools like Easel, Canva, there's already templates. If you guys are not familiar with that, then definitely check that out. Annette is incredible. So it's gonna be a great interview.
Okay, so what has been your favorite live stream moment? Whether it's a guest you had, a show you were a guest on, something that happened. What is your favorite live stream moment that you've had?
Oh man, there's so many. I mean, like you said, there's all of these things that you don't plan for. I remember there was a live stream. It was a pretty big one too. I think it was with Dusty Porter. He was a guest on my channel, and for a good 4 or 5 minutes, our audio wasn't working, and somebody finally said something in the chat, and it's it's been almost 5 minutes, so I guess we'll just start over, figure this out. There was another time, I wasn't on the live stream, but when I was at Thinkific, he might be here, he might catch the replay, but one of my colleagues, Aaron Morin, was doing an interview, and he had a water bottle, a jug of water like this, and it totally spilled on, it spilled and it got on his MacBook or his laptop. And then our videographer, you just see this shirt flying out of nowhere. Our videographer like just, I guess, took off his shirt and just like threw it to him. He caught this shirt and he started wiping things down and he just kept on going. Like nothing happened. He was just like, so, the next step is, this. And we never let him forget that. So yeah, anything could happen. It's just the joy of live streaming.
Yeah. I remember, it was funny that you mentioned one with audio. We had one that this was a couple years back that I did with Amanda Robinson, the digital gal, and a couple other people. And we were talking about some major changes that were happening with Facebook ads and things going on. And we did the entire live stream. I mean, it was so many amazing just pieces of knowledge dropped and things happening. We get off and Amanda finds out that none of her or the other person that was with her, none of their audio worked. And it was literally just Jen and I talking to them, but they could hear Jen and I, but they couldn't hear her. And, so it's one of those moments you're just like, that was like the most amazing, epic live stream. And it was useless. And that was back before we weren't doing it through a program like Streamyard where you could then download. Yeah. So like you could at least have the internal audio and then re-upload it. It was a shot deal.
You just got to redo that. You just got to do it again, right?
Yeah.
What else can you do? Yeah, no, it's good.
Okay. If you could go back in time to when you first started going live, what is one piece of advice you would give yourself?
Oh man, I would tell myself, I was sitting on the sidelines for a long time, I think. So I would tell myself to just get started earlier. I should have just gotten started earlier because I was, I guess, one of those, people that, I'm not ready. I don't have the right camera yet. Or, it's like, what am I going to say? Are people going to listen? Like, who's going to subscribe? So all of those sort of like limiting beliefs, I was definitely one of those people. So I would have just told myself, you should have started earlier. You should have started today. Stop overthinking it and just start creating, because the first, whatever that first phase is as a creator, as a video creator, nobody really is watching you. So in all honesty, you could do anything you want. You can make all the mistakes. And even if somebody watched it or it's on Facebook, the next day, it's so far down the feed, nobody's gonna, give you a hard time. And they're not gonna remember, and you're just gonna keep getting better and better. And that phase has to happen. And if you can't skip that phase, unless you hire like an expert. And even if you hire, and you spend money on a videographer and a producer and all that stuff, it's still your own speaking skills and connecting with an audience and engaging and, the tone that you speak in and all those things. You got to work that out. Yeah. So, you still got to work that out. So,
okay. I think this is a perfect segue into this person's comment. I would love for you to take this one. Let me pull it up. So, thanks for this live. How do you make sure people come and watch your live? I only get like 10 people. Should I still continue?
Yeah.
So you start and then I'll chime in too.
Yeah. There's definitely a couple things. Like if you're, promote it. So I would say promote it. If you're doing the live streams on Facebook, promote it on Instagram stories, LinkedIn, Facebook. If you're doing that on YouTube, so promote it. If you have 5, 10 people watching, great. Don't worry about it too much, right? That's going to grow. You have to be consistent. Again, people need to know that you're going to show up for them before they show up for you. So you got to make sure that you are consistent. Do it once a week, at least on a regular basis, as regular as you can. So like, if on your YouTube channel, if you go to our YouTube channel, the TubeBuddy YouTube channel, you'll see that it'll say, new videos every week and live streams every Wednesday. Because that's what we do. For the longest time, every Wednesday there's a live stream, every Friday there's a new video. So people know to expect like, oh, okay, it's Friday, there's gotta be a new TubeBuddy video. So show up. Promote it. One of the things I used to do, and I don't do this anymore, is I would actually start streaming on multiple platforms, every single platform that I have, and then tell them to go to one, which was YouTube. So I would live stream to LinkedIn, to Facebook, YouTube, and I would say, hey, what's up guys? Rob here. Really excited to do this Q&A. This is only happening on YouTube. So if you're watching this on LinkedIn, just click the link to go to my YouTube channel. And then I would shut down those other channels and only leave YouTube up. And so you funnel them into one channel specifically. So that's one way that you can try. It was a fun test that I did that worked. And so there's different things that you can do.
Yeah. I think that, some of those are really good. Make sure that you are promoting it. Utilize the tools to like schedule it ahead of time so you can tell your audience about it. And decide, if your goal is to build your YouTube account, then funneling everybody into YouTube, like you were saying. But if your goal is just reach and brand awareness, then continue to go out to all the channels. And you're going to have to kind of get consistent. Pick that show time, and that way people know that's time show up. I am Mondays at 1 p.m. Central Time. We've got the town hall that is every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Time. And so we've got our consistent show times that our audience members know to show up for. And then from there, just keep growing and building and practicing and getting stronger. I know I look back at my original lives and they're painful. They're the hi, how are you? So we're going to wait for some other viewers to get on. So I don't want to jump into the topic.
You were that person. Yeah,
I was. It was bad. Nobody told me, so it took me time to learn. Oh, wait, that's actually, I'm going to get more viewers, replay viewers versus live. I'm not going to have as many that show up live. I will have live viewers, but the majority of my viewers in the long term are going to be replay.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Julie. Yeah, so even in your replay, in your live stream, this is, something that we are always testing is, I know everybody wants to they want to have a lot of live viewers, but think about the replay viewer because you're going to get, TubeBuddy, we get way more replay viewers. So when you start your live stream, don't try to buy time and all that stuff. Have a nice countdown. You have 30-second countdown that you did. That's great.
Yeah.
And then get into the video, get into the actual meat of the content, whatever that session is going to be about. Because again, it's for the replay viewer mostly.
Yeah. And I think this was perfect timing for this comment. How about the new giveaway picker in Streamyard? Well, we might just be using that here in a minute. So make sure that we're actually going to have everybody right now. I'm going to pull it up. We are giving away the new Streamyard Puddles plush. Nice. So type in the comments, #love StreamYard, and you will get entered to win the new plush. If you're not familiar with who our mascot is, his name is Puddles. So we're going to be giving one of those away today. I don't even have one yet. I'm so excited to get mine. I'm like, it needs to come. And we're going to use the new giveaway tool. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and set that up while everybody's putting those in the comments. What other final thoughts do you have?
Yeah, thank you, Julie. This is awesome. It's just really, really fun to watch StreamYard just, go to all the different new heights that you guys are getting to, and really excited for you guys. And I just want to encourage everybody out there, I think it was Brian G. Johnson or Owen, they just posted something recently. The next video, the most important thing to do with your channel is just the next video that you're going to create. So, don't get too worried about, the last video, it tanked. The last stream, there's only a handful of people there. Yeah. Just keep creating, and you show up for people, they'll show up for you. But learn along the way, right? Learn along the way. It's just hard. Don't just push through and just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Learn from each one. Oh, this one, I need to put lower thirds like Julie's doing. Plan that ahead. Get better at that. Once you got that down, next thing, change your backgrounds. Really make it, more engaging. So one thing at a time, and you'll be a success.
Change your backgrounds.
There you go.
I was like, we'll play with those for a minute. So where can people learn more about you or find you?
Yeah, anywhere at TubeBuddy, you'll find us. And then for my own channel, just copy and paste my name. I've got a long last name, but copy and paste my name on LinkedIn or Instagram, you'll find me there. And also my personal YouTube channel here.
Let's see. There we go.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah. So we've got all those, but yeah. And with that, I think we are ready to pull up the giveaway. So let me add that. And we're going to go drum roll. I've really got to get some drum roll music. I say it every week, and I've yet to get myself some drum roll music. I know. I'm like, I really got to get that. It's that.
I can't do it. I mean, I'm doing it here. I don't know if it'll come through.
I'm going to have to talk to my my development team. Be like, you're going to have to build some drum roll music into this.
Yeah, need some drum
Teresa M. Odom.
That is so cool.
Yeah. So make sure that you email us at marketing@streamyard.com. I know I have that in here somewhere. Oh, I did. I think my one banner got deleted. Okay. So email us at marketing@streamyard.com and send us your address. Tell us that you were the winner for the plush on today's show. And we will get that emailed out to you. Or not emailed. I will not email you a duck. Man, if only I could do that.
3D printing, you know?
Yeah. I'm like, I've got to figure that technology out. I'll make millions. So, Teresa, congratulations. Email us at marketing@streamyard.com. You guys go follow Rob, stay in touch with him. I know Rob is always up for taking questions and comments, and he's happy to chat. Yes, I love that. A note for me, get some drum roll music. Yes. Now I'm going to, hold on. I've got my dry erase pen. I'm going to put it right here. I've made a note. There. Now it's on my to-do list today. Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, for being here. And I will see you guys next week with another fabulous guest for Livestream Impact.